went on. But like we were in the because it's a huge amphitheater, so like if people paid like $100, they can go stand in the pit. But we got free seats from like Guitar Center, and like because they hooked us up. And we were sitting in the back where like all the chairs are, and like all the way to like my right, like this whole like pit just broke out in the middle of the seats, and like the police couldn't control them. People were getting handcuffed, like, and this is like in the seats where people were supposed to be sitting. Like people were just throwing down in the pit, like right there.
Oh, dude, that
was the coolest thing I've ever seen. Either awesome. That or like when Slipknot played "Spit It Out," like that was like because I ran into Josh Balls from Motionless in White because there was this one guy that was standing in the back. And like he wasn't getting down, like the whole crowd's supposed to get down at this one part, and I was like, why isn't this guy getting down? Like, and then like I looked at him like, oh wow, it's Josh Balls. He just opened up for Slipknot. Like that's crazy.
You should still.
You should still do it though.
Yeah,
man.
I know. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I'll do it.
Yeah, like he was like, his band was the opener for that tour, so it was cool, like running into him.
Dude, I'd be like crying.
Yeah, I did
but like
cry.
manly crying.
Well,
like keep that masculine like undertone, you know what I mean? But just like this is so awesome.
Okay, here's a question. Here's a good one, and this has actually happened to me. If you let's just say you were at some festival thing, and you didn't recognize this actor or musician. And you ask, hey, are you so-and-so who, that's not his name, like something, and whatever. And he says, no. And you, like, walk away and dawn on you, oh, it's the actor from Vikings. And you're like, oh, crap. What do I do now? You have to apologize to the guy, and he's just like, I want nothing to do with you now. What do you guys do? Has that ever happened to you?
Like, on which side of that?
So far, I don't.
I don't know. I've had people like confuse me for other people.
Oh yeah, I mean a little bit, you know. Like everybody likes to make connections and associations with, you know, other people that are kind of popular, so, you know, there's that sort of thing. But I wouldn't, even if that really did happen, I wouldn't really mind too much, you know. I think that, you know, and maybe my perspective will change at some point, but, you know, the fact that somebody, you know, just screwed up, like, it happens, you know what I mean? And I on the side I work customer service, so I kind of see the other side of it, so, you know, like, kind of how people treat other people and that sort of thing, so, I don't know. Let's be passive.
Okay, cool. That's
a really lame response. I probably should have said something cooler.
Your response was fine. I just that the whole incident was kind of rolling in my head, like, hey, you know what's happened to you guys? So anyway, okay. So Spider, anything else you want to ask these guys?
Well, since we're talking about we talked about crazy shows and things. For you guys, what was the craziest show that you guys ever personally played at? Okay. Like, what was the craziest thing that ever would have happened at one of your shows?
I think I have.
For this band or any bands that we've ever played?
Let's say for this band.
So I have a pretty good one. So this was some years back. We were playing one of the an older song of ours that was the heavier in the set, and so there was this person in the crowd that was wearing a green morph suit. So, like, for those at home that don't know what that is, it's basically like this spandex colored suit. Like, the entire thing will make you this color, so you were just like a walking human green, or, you know, and his was green. And he's in the crowd, and a mosh pit starts to come out around the bridge of the song. And so I'm, like, banging my head, you know, kind of getting lost in the moment, enjoying the show. And I hear my bass player curse really loud, fling his bass plate, like his bass back, you know, and almost fall down. And then I hear the microphone just slam the stage and make that really disgusting feedback noise that you hear, you know, and that sort of thing. And what had actually happened is somebody picked up this individual in the green morph suit and threw him at my bass player. And he broke his ribs.
Oh, no!
It was okay.
But he broke his ribs.
I run into him every so often. He's a really cool guy.
Oh, man.
He's really cool. Tibbles. Yeah, that guy's cool. I mean, and he wasn't even, like, really butthurt about it at all. Like, that was the more surprising thing. He was like, yeah, dude, I broke my ribs. I'm like, man, and you're, like, not mad at all.
That was awesome.
I don't know. That was pretty crazy. There was another show we played where I felt this compulsion to poke holes in a water bottle, two water bottles. And when Limbo kicked in, like that note, like that pickup note with the full instrumental or whatever, I exploded all of those water bottles out on the stage, and I threw the water bottles up in the moment to try to look really cool, and it got a cool picture of it, but the result of it was not that cool at all, because
there was also fog going too.
There was fog, so my microphone got unplugged. There was water all over the stage, so the entire show we were slipping.
Yep.
Like actually slipping on the monitors. There was no traction with our feet. We thought we were cool. We were wearing like skate shoes and everything, you know? Like, so that was a great idea. You know, so it was a very bad thing, and we managed to get through it without any screw-ups until the end, conveniently at the last note, with the bass player. This guy just had bad luck, man. You know, he's a good friend of ours, Aaron. He jumped, and he slipped as soon as he was about to hit that last note, you know, when you're, like, going to jump up and be, like, cool and rock and roll about it. Right. Well, he did that, and when he landed at the last note, as it was resonating out, he slipped. And because of the water that I dropped, which makes me the biggest jerk in the world, because I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do something really cool, and everybody's just, like, doing slip and slide on the stage the entire show. The sound guy was really upset. You know, it just, yeah, that was probably not my brightest shining moment.
Yeah.
No, there's, I don't know, man. You know, people are weird at shows. There was some guy lying on the ground at one of our shows, like, totally passed out, but he was, like, vibing at the same time. He was, like, slightly contorting to the music. It was really strange. So weird show once. And he asked for autographed drumsticks, which was cool.
He was paying attention at least.
Yeah, I guess. He felt it on the floor.
Hey, Spider, so I have a question for you.
Oh, lay it on me.
Yeah. What was the most awkward show that you have ever played?
Oh, the most awkward show. Let's see.
They're out there.
I've got two, I'd say. I'll bring up two, because one was as me playing solo, and one was with my first band. The one with me playing solo, my first show as a solo artist, because, you know, nobody really knew anything about me, and I didn't have any equipment other than a laptop and some speakers. Mm-hmm. My first show was in a Hot Topic store.
Oh, yeah.
In the mall.
You know, cliche as it is, I totally worked there.
It was great. It was fun. It was kind of like they didn't really know what to think of me, because since my music is kind of niche and kind of not really fitting into a lot of genre and stuff. For some reference for you guys, if you want to know about it, I don't know if you got to hear the intro to the show, the theme song. That was me. So that's kind of a taste of what I do, and it kind of caught everybody by surprise. Like, people are just walking by, like, peeking in, like, what is this? And it was kind of like, it was cool, but, like, really kind of at the same time.
I'm really into ambient stuff, you know, that is a little bit atonal as well. So it takes a certain perspective to appreciate music like that.
Yeah.
It's a lot about
with my first band, this was that death metal band, we got booked to play the county fair of my hometown.
Oh my god, awesome.
Which they've usually got like country and gospel bands and things, because, you know, it's a little religious community and everything. And the lady who booked us she owned a campground that we put on a metal festival for every year, and that's still going on out there, so it's really successful for the guys that are still out there. But she liked us, and she was also on the committee for the fair that year to hire musicians, and she was like, I want to give you guys a shot. I think the kids would go for it. And we're like, all right. And it's just so we're playing on this grandstand in front of, like, this town in, like, rural Pennsylvania that's surrounded by farmland, and And of course, all kids from the school, they're trying to make like this little pit down front, and everybody in the stands is just kind of sitting there with their arms crossed and just kind of staring, because they're just like, "What? Why are you there?"
In fact, so the absolute first show that Arkangela ever played, which isn't, it's been some time now, was actually at a church, and it was an open mic night for a church.
Nice.
And I don't know what really happened that led up to that, but basically I was like, okay, I'll take a show. Like, that looks like fun. They had a pretty cool stage. They had some cool lights. Like, it's definitely not the worst stage I've played on at all. Yeah, and so we got there, and the person opening for us was a couple of girls or something, and they were doing an acoustic cover of that Friday song by Rebecca Black. And, like, that was the opener, and then it was at that moment, like, we were decked out in, like, we had black paint on us, makeup. We were going hard, playing, loud amplifiers and, heavy bass and really fast drums and poor attempts at me screaming at that young age. And, so half the people that were there showed up to see us because we were talking a big game. Cool, yeah, whatever, about what we were doing. Trying to be that cool guy or whatever. So there's a picture that exists somewhere where you can see half of the crowd moshing, and you can see the other half of the crowd of, like, teenaged, like, gospel guys or whatever, like, just really scared and concerned. like a lot of them are crossing their arms. Like, some of them are, like, just trying to play it off. Like, the stage banter for that was really hard because, like, we always had that sort of lyrical thing that we do now. It's just kind of evolved. So the stage banter was really, really awkward because I would be like, when you're mad? Wait, I can't talk about that because I'm at a church. I can't incite violence in a church. Like, I mean, there are ways to get arrested, and while that is a very comedic one, that's not something I don't know. So it was kind of an awkward experience. So kind
of like that Nutsack show.
Yeah, we played a show in this kid's basement one time.
It was like a Christian show.
It was
Christian basement show.
Yeah, Christian Christmas.
Acoustic Christian show. And we came on with that G.G. Allen Weird Al sounding band. And that was really chaotic. Yeah.
Yeah,
we broke all the rules in that whole show.
We were told to be there at 4:30, and I don't know, we got there kind of late, and everybody was making cookies and everything, and it kind of weirded us out. I don't know.
It was an awkward thing. It's like, but you know what? I appreciate it at the same time, because it was just a for fun type of thing, and, I like cookies.
Cookies rock.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so this
another
awesome
thing about promotion that we do.
This awesome thing that I was doing at the show, I used to live in Arkansas, and I went through my grandpa's desk one time, and I found these retro porn playing cards. And so I went to the show, and they were all, like, haggard and stuff because they had been around for 40 years. And I just started to hand them out to people, saying, "Hey, do you want some complimentary pornography?" And and some people would take it and be like, "Yeah, man." And then some other people would crumple it up and throw it back at me and everything, and it was a really good time.
What that told us is, like, some of the people got through that whole party filter thing as well. So, like, it was all right. Take the porn card. You're one of us.
I have a comment in the chat room from Kelly. Kelly says, I was at a local show once at a venue that just changed locations. They hadn't taken the low drop ceiling out yet to put a stage in, so someone accidentally put someone through the roof, and crumpled ceiling tile landed everywhere. Ouch.
That's terrible.
That's awesome, but awesomely bad,
Yeah.
That was okay.
That's so metal.
I remember my first mosh pit, I didn't want to get in because I'm not that big of a guy right now, and I haven't really been that big of a guy for a while. So I was around 12 or something like that. I was at this local show, and there was this pretty big pit with people that were, obviously much bigger than me.